Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 571 of the DrunkNerds podcast. As always, I'm Tyler, and joining me, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What is up, buddy?
Oh man, this week has been really crazy for everything else other than like the usual shit. But at the same time, man, it's like I've been busy, lots of work stuff, lots of wrestling news, all the various craziness upon
Yeah,
that. But other than that, though, I'm doing pretty good, Tyler. How are you
I've had
doing?
better weeks, Gables. This is gonna be the sober nerds today. I was telling you for the show. You already know all the details, all the disgusting details. Uh, but I had a heat stroke on Wednesday at work. Uh, Work finished today. Work Thursday like an idiot. I had a call on Friday. So I have not ate solid food since Tuesday. Um, I've been chugging water and Pedialyte uh, for a few days now. So today I have a water bottle, and my mom was nice enough to bring me over some Starry because they didn't have Sprite. So I'm drinking. Uh,
Oh,
yeah. So yeah,
carbonated.
some carbonated, and it's not water and Pedialyte because I found out you can drink too much Pedialyte, and it also can upset your stomach. So I'm like, great, didn't know that. So uh, trying to balance stuff out, eating a lot of soup. I've eaten like it's just been literally toast and soup for was this day 4. So it's Saturday, August 26th, as of this recording. So hopefully tomorrow, uh, I can eat something solid, and or at least by
Well, here's hoping.
what?
It's just some
Yeah.
pizza.
Oh my God, dude. I would do terrible things to just eat a Totino's pizza. Like that's how desperate I am right now for something like solid. Because let me tell you, chicken noodle soup and saltine crackers are not hitting the spot right now. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about the same Gables. Otherwise, I'm getting pretty excited though. We are getting close to like football. I guess I got the Hawkeye stuff on for
Oh yeah.
YouTube watchers. Um, Next week is the beginning of that. Also, Gable like the shit has hit the fan for video games right now. Armored Core is out now. We got Starfield next week. Sea of Stars coming out next week as well. Um, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is out. Uh, so many
Yep.
like big games and like indie games. It's just so many games coming out right now. It's insane. We've been talking about that a lot, but it started. It's here. Um, Immortals of Aveum came out. I did buy that. So I'm gonna play it much though. I've been home the last couple days. It's been difficult to just like be able to sit there and play games. But yeah, no. Doing all right. It's yeah, like I said, it's been a depressing week. We lost Terry Funk. We lost Bray Wyatt. You know, Terry Funk, 79 years old, lives a long, crazy life. Professional wrestler. Uh, Bray
Yeah.
Wyatt, sadly, he was only 36. He's gone, just a couple years older than us. Um, yeah,
Mm.
sadly passed away of a heart attack uh, on Thursday, and then Bob Barker today. Um,
Yep.
yeah, so it's been a pretty crazy week for celebrity deaths. But
Yeah.
yeah, anyways, let's try to get this positive game. This is the video game podcast. Normally we're in a much better mood,
Yes.
but it's been a pretty grim week. It's been hot as hell. But we've had some good video game news come out this week, and so we'll try to spin some positives. This is the Drunk Testers podcast. Every week, Gables and I get together and we talk about video games and the things we love about them mostly. So yeah, if you like all this, you like the show, enjoying all that, please like, follow, subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you are anywhere else, subscribe, 5-star reviews, leave a comment. Look down in the description down below. There are links to everything that we're on for the most part. Spotify, Apple, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. If you are on any of those places, please subscribe. Even if you don't go to those places, but you don't not a big YouTube watcher, but you have YouTube, just go there, subscribe to us. Just give us a subscription. I like to see that number go up a little bit. We got over 100 finally, and the number's going up, and we're on to the road to 1,000. That's kind of the goal there. Then when you get to 1,000,
Yes.
you can actually start making some money. So that'd be great. So if we can get to that point, we can start making 7 cents a video, like everybody else is.
Hey, there you
Um,
go.
Shit adds up, Gables. In like 10 years, we could buy like a Big Mac. Um, so if we can keep up with inflation. But yeah, other than that, let's just get into the goddamn video games, Gables. Um, we had opening night live this week, Gables. It's pretty exciting. So a lot of we had the Jeff Keighley show. Gamescom start was all week. We had some stuff come out. Not as much as I thought would come out of it. Like I thought we'd get some more news um, throughout because Gamescom opening night live was on Tuesday, but then like Gamescom the event itself was Wednesday through Saturday. And I thought we'd like get a bunch of gameplay for stuff. We got some trailers. We got like 8 minute like gameplay sections of like games and like some more like deeper dives and stuff like that. But as far as like big stuff, like I thought we get some more dates. I thought like Nintendo like made a big deal about the fact they're coming back for the first time in 4 years, and I looked around and I didn't see a fucking thing from them at all.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, that's surprising.
I'm guessing they just had a booth there, but I didn't see one. Like at least from like on Twitter or just like on YouTube, I didn't see like anybody like usually like I see people like here's the Xbox booth, here's this person's booth, here's this booth. I didn't see anything for Nintendo. Yeah, I thought maybe like there'd be like some new trailers or something from them from like some other games coming out here soon, but we got nothing. But we did get Jeff Keighley's opening it live. We talked about this last week. I think you and I went in pretty low expectations. Like we thought we get some good stuff out of it, but not a lot. Like Jeff Keighley even came out and
Right.
said a couple weeks ago, like this is gonna be mostly updates on games you already know about for the rest of the year. So don't expect a bunch of new stuff. And I mean, all props to him because yeah, it's basically what it was. Kind of started off. It went over a little over 2 hours. Um, we don't talk about everything. We can just kind of run through some. Like a lot of the stuff is updates. So we had Starfield start off. They actually had like the guy that does the music for the game. He did like played it on the piano, and there was like a live action trailer. No new gameplay there, but just a cool little way to start off. God, what the fuck? Oh, Todd Howard came out and talked about the game coming up and stuff like that, but nothing too much more out of it. Kind of hype up the game. Hey, it's coming out next week. Get excited. Reviews drop Thursday. Um, then we also had a couple people jumped up on the stage again and
Yep.
asked for GTA 6. Apparently, these guys are like going all over uh, like jumping on like television sets and like on newscasts shit like that, and they've been doing it multiple times. Um, but hopefully this doesn't happen again. I don't want this to be a trend.
Yeah.
Like the first time was kind of
This is
funny, you know. But I don't know, Game Awards it was kind of funny, but also like this time was like two guys got up there and they're up there for like a really long time. Um, and like luckily nothing happened. I thought Jeff Keighley like he was obviously pretty pissed, and I don't blame him. But I think he handled it a bit about as professionally as he could. Because I think some other people probably would have like fucking put him in a goddamn German suplex. Gables would have suplexed him to the Royal Borealis, for sure. Um, which I would actually love. Gables, we should have you be security at Game Awards.
Oh, that's funny. That's actually funny you should mention that because I'm actually kind of the security in my
Oh, there you go.
workplace.
Yeah, that's right. You told me the story about you chased that guy down trying to, and like, like I would love that. Like, man, Jeff Key, like he's not too far away. It's probably a cheap flight to the L.A. in December. Um,
Be Jeff Keighley's bodyguard
yeah, like
for an awards
just make
show.
sure I get my 5% founder fee for for whatever you pay Gables. I get 5%. So
You get
yeah, I just want that little fucking dweeb kid come out and like try to go on the stage again and see Gables fucking put him in a fucking chokehold.
Put him in like a freaking coquina
Yeah,
clutch.
fucking put him in a dragon suplex him. That'd be awesome. Uh, I honestly like if that happened to somebody, like I don't want like to die or serious injury, but if that happened to him, I think that would probably scare off some fucking people from doing it again. If there's some guy tries to rush the stage and just get knocked the fuck out, like you have Mike Tyson, dude, just put Mike Tyson on stage, just put him in the corner the whole fucking time. I don't care if he's like 6 years old, that motherfucker will still knock your ass out. That'd be awesome.
Hey, what you doing on the stage, man? We're gonna go.
Yeah.
You gotta go to Jeff Keighley to watch the thing. We're gonna go.
Yeah,
Bam.
you just come up on this like before Jeff Keighley comes out, like before he introduces him, he's like, if anybody walks on stage, I'll eat you children. Like that'd be fucking awesome. It's like his two lines.
Let's sit down, kid. What eat your children.
Oh man,
I love
he's
Mike
awesome.
Tyson.
He's
though. I mean, the guy. Guy's
he's
fun,
a
but
national treasure.
at the same time, have Mike Tyson or something like as a bodyguard and stuff for Jeff Keighley doing his little award show thing. That makes so much sense. I mean, I could just envision him just standing on stage right next to him. All of a sudden, like that little that little occurrence or something like that just pops up to the freaking thing. It's like, okay, you gotta get out of here. You gotta get out of here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Boom.
I don't even want to give him a.
You see the kid just
I don't
go
even want to give him a
flying.
warning. I just want him to fucking punch somebody, knock him out, like one swing. That would be awesome. That would.
That would be so meme worthy, and it would have been cycling through the internet for so long. It's like, look at this dude get his comeuppance here.
Yeah. But unfortunately though, for us, it'd be like Reggie walking up the stage. He like doesn't know it's Reggie. And fucking just knocks out Reggie. Like that would be like, it's like, oh no, not Reggie.
He done
it. He's still mad about. He's still mad at Nintendo for taking him out of Mike Tyson's Punch Out all these years later. I just love this idea. I want it, like, I know it's never gonna happen.
With my royalties.
Yeah.
It's like it goes out with my
with
royalties.
my royalties. Yeah, I had to give back one of my tigers. Oh man, I love this idea. But moving on here. Listen, man, I just really want that to happen now. Anyway, not Reggie get knocked out, but just Mike Tyson at the Game Awards. Jeff Keighley, if you're watching, once again, if you hire Mike Tyson, we want our 5% founders fee. For the idea fee, is that a thing? Whatever. Just give us 5%. No, just subscribe to the podcast. Anyways, next up here we have Little Nightmares 3 is it's obviously getting a third one. It's coming in 2024. This one it's like kind of teasing possibly in co-op, which I remember the second game, like there was a second person with you, but I don't think it was ever co-op. I only played the first couple hours. I loved the first game. I played the second game. I just didn't click for me for some reason. I played a couple hours of it. The thing about this one though is this one's being made by Supermassive Games, which I can't remember the name of the first studio, but they announced 2 years ago that they were done with the franchise, but Bandai Namco owns the IP. What's interesting though is little Supermassive Games, who does like the Dark Pictures anthology, the Quarry, Until Dawn, stuff like that. Totally different game than they're used to making, I thought, until someone pointed out that they actually helped like they were like a support studio on the second game, and they actually did the next gen port of Little Nightmares 2 to the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles. So they do have some knowledge of this. And they also announced there's going to be a 6-episode podcast series that's going to be inside the universe called The Sounds of Nightmares. I don't know if they said that when it's coming. The first two are out now, but I don't know when the next 4 are coming. But have you ever played the Little Nightmare games? I don't know if these are like something for you.
Honestly, I've never played any of the Little Nightmare games. I've heard they're good games. I know people that are really into them and stuff because of the horror elements and stuff of the set properties and stuff. But no, they've just been like games it's been one of those type of games and stuff where I don't really generally like playing a lot of horror themed games all too often. I mean, hell, what was it? Games like Dead by Daylight and like Outlast and stuff. Those were the exceptions because at least I was able to get into those things because friends introduced me to that stuff, and I ended up liking both those things to an extent. But yeah, it's like Little Nightmares 3. I mean, I'm glad for people that were fans of the series. I mean, hey, it's going to be more of the stuff that you like. Plus, there's going to be some elements that look fairly radically different than like the past previous entries. It looks like.
And it's nice to it's a studio and Supermassive that does deal with horror. I mean, it's a different style game that like I said, they're like typically used to making. So see how that works. But it seems like the style is there. Just a matter of if the gameplay is as good, because like I said, they deal with like Until Dawn. That's like I think all they've ever worked on in like VR games. It's crazy how much like this team has pumped out in the last like year and a half. Like they put out 2 Dark Pictures anthology games. They put out a Quarry. They put out a VR game, and then so in 2 years they're gonna put all those out, and then Little Nightmares. Interestingly enough, though, we still do not have. They never said anything about Dark Pictures. They usually have one every year for Dark Pictures anthology, and they teased a space one at the end. They always tease the next one at the end of their games, and they teased one in space, and usually they come out in October, um, but we haven't heard anything about like whether they're getting delayed or not. So I'm curious. I'm assuming that we're just at this point we're not getting one, which is fine. There's enough stuff coming out this year, but especially because that last one usually always came out like right before Halloween. The last one came out at the end of November, like same day as Pokemon, so it was like mid-November.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and I remember it came out and it just had a lot of bugs, so I ended up just waiting until like January to play it. And it was really good. I liked it a lot, but I wonder if maybe like they're just let's take a year off and just get stuff in place again. So, um, but anyways, Black Myth, you Wukong got another trailer here. First time we're like finally starting to see some like real gameplay of this stuff. Like we've seen a lot of like teasers and stuff like
Hmm.
that over the last couple years. It's like one of the first like Unreal Engine 5 games that we've seen, and it's been absolutely impressive. This is the first time we've actually like really
Yes,
seen
it
some
is.
like gameplay that wasn't just like quick like snippets here and there. Um, and yeah, this game looks amazing. Like I don't know if it's gonna be a game that like I love. I believe it's a Game Pass Day One game too. But it's like very much a Souls like. It is like part of like what's that fucking Journey to the West? I believe is that the story.
Yes, it's the whole theme of Journey to the
Yeah.
West. You know, Son Goku going through like all over like his quest to go to like go from like I think it's like Japan and stuff all the way to like west in like in terms of America or some
Ah.
shit like that. I'm not
I
sure.
only know it from the one the who made that game the one the 360 game.
Oh, oh yes, I know which one you're talking about. It's enslaved.
Yeah, enslaved,
Journey.
enslaved. That's what it was. That's the only thing I know which I know was like Odyssey to the West. Who made that game? That's bugging me now. I'm
Yeah,
gonna look it up real fast. Sorry, Ninja
I think
Theory.
it's Namco.
Okay,
In
yeah,
theory.
but no, this game looks. I mean, it looks beautiful. The enemies look awesome. It definitely it looks like a really could be like a really good Souls like. But we've seen this in the past where we see some games that look like really great. Like they have the art style, the enemies are there. It looks beautiful. Looks like the game will be great, and it comes out and it's kind of like it's fine. It's mediocre, but the very least, this game has a very impressive style. Um, and I'm at least if I believe it is a Game Pass game, and if that is, I'm definitely gonna be in on that game day one. But kind of Gables like, what do you think on this one?
I thought the gameplay looked absolutely fantastic, dude. I mean, the attention to scenery stuff. I had totally spaced that this was one of the first like truly real like Unreal Engine 5 games and stuff, but everything that I've seen so far from the intricate details from the bosses themselves through the whole atmosphere of what Black Myth Wukong is supposed to represent and stuff. I'm liking this stuff. I mean, I am definitely liking what's going on here. There's this one point and stuff where you're fighting off like this boss or something like that, and all of a sudden you have this pink snake that's like going through the
Yeah,
grass, and all of a sudden transforms into a woman, but the top portion of her neck are like a fucking cobra, and it's like, holy shit, dude! It is it is getting so realistic to the point now where it just looks absolutely creepy when you see something like that just pop up onto your screen, or even some of the bosses themselves, like that one kind of like centipede looking
yeah,
monster that uh that that you're going through and fighting and stuff. You gotta be hyper quick and stuff because it's just slithering around and stuff like that inside of an underground type of environment, like a dark cave or some shit. And it looks like that they've made some fine progress on this game. We still don't have a window about when we're
I
going to
think
be
they said
expecting this
summer,
game's release.
so we'll
Summer.
see.
Hmm. Well, that's more than what I initially thought, because when I saw that gameplay trailer that they went through and released, they didn't make any mention of like
I
summer,
think it was
but
elsewhere. I know it's
it
20. I know. Let me. I'll double check it. But um,
but yeah, everything I've seen so far about this game just looks fantastic, and quite honestly, this gameplay solidifies the fact that this is definitely going to be a must-play game.
yeah. So no, it looks like it just says 2024.
Yeah. So it could be one of those games where it says 2024, they're probably going to slip it into
I mean,
2025.
this was
But
like I remember like we did our fantasy critic draft last in January, and you drafted it, and then literally the
yep,
next like 3 days later they delayed it to next year. So that's saying something. In January you're already delaying a game to the next year. So So we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. It's the first time we got some like real gameplay. So definitely blue. I think it was one of the big things that came out of this event. So next up here though, we got Killing Floor 3 was announced. Just a CG trailer. We got maybe like 5 seconds of gameplay. It looked really impressive. Looks gorgeous. I don't know
Yeah.
too much about these games. I know it's got a pretty it's like a zombie survival like a horde mode type of game. Um, but I know it's got a pretty sizable audience behind it. It's one of those things where it's like they're getting a third one of these really, but it's like then you find out there's actually like a pretty big audience behind it. I mean, it's the way video games are now, especially multiplayer games. Audiences are so splintered off. It's like it's just like oh, it's like that's just like some nothing multiplayer game. I know there's like 100,000 people that play that thing like religiously. So good for those people that are they're getting that. I thought it looks gorgeous. That looked really cool. Just not something I'm ever gonna get into. What about you?
Okay. In regards to that, probably not so much for me. I mean, granted, this game's probably not going to be too far off of like going through and release and stuff like that. But yeah, nah. By the time that thing releases, I'm probably going to be more focused upon what else is coming out during that
Yeah,
time.
there was no release date or anything, so we have no. It could be 2025 for all we know. Next up here though, we got Age of Empire 4 is out now on Xbox with Game Pass. This was kind of like heavily like we knew this was coming. Um, it was just a matter, and then there's been heavily rumored that it was gonna get a shadow drop today, and it did. I know there's a lot of people are excited for it. Um, these are not my things, but I know I've seen a lot of people that were really pumped when this happened. So I don't got too much to add on. Gables, anything for you?
No,
Oh,
not really.
next up here we got Rebel Moon. Oh, excuse me, carbonation from the starry there. Oh my god, first time I've had like anything carbonated in a long time. I don't drink soda, so anyways, Rebel Moon. It's the Zack Snyder film. Apparently, it might be getting a game as well. This is it's a big Netflix movie. Apparently, it's coming out in two parts. The first part comes in December. The second part, I believe, was in April. It's like a 3 minute long trailer. Um, it just looks like a giant showpiece of like look how beautiful this movie looks. Like a lot of CGI stuff
Yeah.
like it looks like CGI wise like there's definitely a lot of money behind this thing. Um, but it just I have no idea what the fuck was happening. Like I don't know what's going on here. I'm not a Zack Snyder guy to be honest with you. Um, I honestly the Snyder cut Justice League was the first Snyder movie that I watched and actually liked. Um, so I'm like I didn't like 300, so I don't know if I'm gonna like that. I'll give it a shot probably when it comes out in December. It's like it's December. What the fuck else we're doing? It's cold outside and it's Christmas. But yeah, like I don't know. This didn't really do anything for me. What about you, Gables?
Honestly, with the Rebel Moon stuff, I'm of the same boat and stuff. I don't really watch too much of like Zack Snyder stuff, but at the same time, it's like it didn't really interest me the source material and stuff. This is actually the part of the thing where while I was watching some bit of like, the Gamescom stuff, I started to drift
Yeah,
off and stuff and fast forward and try to do this other stuff because the core concept of it, I wasn't too interested
yeah.
in.
It's like I appreciate like like when I don't want that for everything, but like I do like when like they have people come on and they talk about their stuff, give a little more detail on stuff, especially like when it's newer things they're introducing. It's like, what the fuck is this? Um, or like you have a Todd Howard, like definitely like okay, or Phil Spencer, like yeah, fucking bring him on. Like that's big, that's smart to do that. But one of the things was like I don't know. I guess it's Zack Snyder. You like he's a name that's gonna bring out more people to your thing than would otherwise. So I get it, but it was definitely a lot of those in here where I'm like I don't need to hear this person talk about this game. It's like, and they're going for so long, and it's
Yeah.
obviously like canned questions with canned answers. But Gable, something that did blow me away that I gave zero fucks about for like the first like minute of this fucking trailer. Crimson Desert um, came out and blew me away. Apparently, it's like it's based off of like a very popular like MMO or something. And I'm like, oh okay. When I realized what okay, I'm like I don't really care about this. And then it's actually like a single player like open world looking game, and it was like every like
Huh.
5 fucking seconds there was some mind blowing game mechanic. He's pole vaulting over fucking walls. He runs to the edge of a cliff on his horse, like he's riding on a horse, and he like runs to the edge of the cliff, and then leaps off, and then like he bursts into fucking crows. There's like there's like ultra hand mechanics in this fucking game. It's gorgeous. There are skylands everywhere. Like he's like in fucking Tears of the Kingdom. Like he at one point jumps off of the sky, out of the sky, one of the sky islands, and he's like doing the Zelda like fall to like the ground.
Yeah.
Like I'm like holy shit. Like what? And this isn't like something that was just made in the last like 6 months when we learned about all this stuff from Zelda. Like this stuff was in development concurrently
At the same
with
time.
this. So it's like it's not like this like I heard seeing a lot of people, oh, this is the first of many knockoffs. I'm like, motherfucker, they were making this the same goddamn time. I keep looking at this game. I watched this trailer like 5 times because it keeps blowing me away. I'm like, I keep watching it, but I'm like, there's so many fucking crazy things happening in this trailer that I'm missing other crazy things that are happening in the trailer. So I had to keep rewatching it. And this whole time, I'm like,
So
what's the fucking catch? There's got to be a catch here. Like something's got to be bad about this. Like it's tell me like I'm gonna find there's gonna be something. This game's gonna come out and like this game can't be like this is everything we think it's gonna be. This is one of the greatest games of all time. But I'm like, all right, something in this game hasn't come out. It's gonna be like a fucking 7.2 out of 10, and I don't know what it is yet. But I don't trust it. It's too good to be true. Um,
oh no.
this is my game of the show though. What about you, Gables?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, though, I didn't really watch too much of like the Gamescom
Oh,
stuff,
okay.
but I'm gonna take your word for it in terms of like that game itself. I just need to rewatch some bit of the Gamecom stuff still and stuff because, dude, after work I've been so dead
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah, but it was awesome. This is your homework for you, Gables. You gotta watch that one. Um,
Okay.
next up though, Payday 3 is getting a heist featuring Ice-T. So that's coming. Um, coming September 21st. Coming to Game Pass. Everything like all the other consoles. So one of those things like we were talking about with the Killing Floor. There's an audience behind these things, and it's smart putting this on Game Pass. I think it's gonna be good for the audience and everything I know. Like people talking about this is like it's one of those things that's gonna be cool, but then like all the people that play hardcore Payday are gonna like find all the tricks in like a week. It's gonna be probably unplayable for anybody. So, uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So, but I don't know. I mean, whatever. I mean, that game looks like fun, but yeah, it's definitely like you gotta have like people play with regularly, and uh, You're gonna probably bump into a lot of regulars, and they're gonna wreck your world. So, um,
Yep. Sort of
yeah. But it's
games.
cool that you don't have an Ice Team there, so that's smart. Good, you know, like it'd be cool like just jump in and do that one at least. Um, Next up here, though, Assassin's Creed Mirage. We got another trailer for that one. Just another trailer. Nothing too much more exciting here. I did like the fact that the entire trailer was in Arabic and there was like subtitles at the bottom. That was kind of cool little touch there. But it's October 5th. Just a reminder that's coming. Um, Next up here, though, Tekken 8 is coming January 26th. Gables, I know it's got you excited. Trailer here, like we got a bunch of
Yes.
gameplay, got some stuff here. Like there's an arcade you can walk around in, and it has the your fucking 360 avatar, Xbox 360 avatars making a comeback in this arcade. So I hope that really are the avatars because if I can walk around with my avatar in my Metal Gear Solid suit, with my Mass Effect Normandy flying around me in this arcade, I'm all in. I'll buy this game day one. How you feeling though, Gibbles? You're the fighting game guy. What'd you think?
I love the I love the initial trailer for like Tekken 8 and stuff where they just went into details, not just of the characters that are currently there, but also revealing like a few other characters they hadn't seen before, like say Leo and also like Yoshimitsu. Seen that in the trailers and stuff. But what was interesting about this is that they showcased like that single player sort of like arcade sort of like mode or something where this is basically them kind of going similarly to say Street Fighter 6 in terms of their kind of hub world that they got going with like the world tour and all this other shit. But the biggest surprise coming out of there was the release date being January 26th. I mean, I honestly thought that they were trying to aim still for like something later and stuff, but I guess because of all the feedback they've gotten from like the other beta tests and all the other stuff that yeah, early January they feel comfortable releasing it. And man, I can't wait to try this game out because this looks fun as
Yeah,
hell.
looks awesome. I'm not the fighting game guy, but like I said, if I can use my 360 avatar, I'm all in. Um, I will
Yeah.
pay. I'll buy the premium edition. I don't care. Uh, Next up here, though, we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. We got the first time we're seeing gameplay for this one. I believe it was they said it's the first trailer, or the first campaign of the game that we got to see here. It was 12 minutes of gameplay. It was weird. So they had like people come out and they like that work on the game and talk about like a lot of like the big changes coming to this one. Um, Talking about like that's more the missions are more like open, not maybe more open area, more you have more just choices you can make. It's not just a that
Yeah.
corridor shooter like walking down a hallway and stuff like that. Um, and I'm like, okay, like they've been kind of pushing that the last week or so, and then they just showed a run of the mill Call of Duty trailer. Like it's at night, you have night vision on, um, and you're just going around like looks like a prison or like a castle kind of situation here. I mean, it looks gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. It's like it's definitely just another showpiece of like, hey, this is like look at like how beautiful this game looks. Look how wet everything is because you're in the rain. It's dark and you're in the rain. Um, and like I said, it looks good, looks impressive, but it's like just looks like the 2023 version of Call of Duty. But I'm not trying to talk shit. It's just what it looked like to me. Like I think a lot of people probably were kind of disappointed because like I think a lot of us wanted to see like you've been talking about these changes you're making to the campaign, and then you just didn't show them. Kind of weird. Um, I don't know. I mean, like people that are in are already in, and I don't know how many more people are gonna get like too excited about this thing. But they have a few more months till this game's out. Not even like 2.5 more months. So I'm sure they'll start getting crazy with the advertising here soon. But I'm excuse me, I am excited to see like kind of what they mean by that because almost sounds too good to be true with kind of the open area kind of stuff. But I don't know, Gables. I know you're not the Call of Duty guy either, but film like this one got you more intrigued than past years.
No, not really.
You
Honestly,
know,
no, not really. I mean, that's the one with Call of Duty where it's like the only time I'll ever go back and play like anything Call of Duty related is if there's something that really is a good hook for me, either the campaign stuff or some of the DLC that looks like it's going to be relatively interesting. What I'm mostly preferring to is like the whole Black
yeah,
Ops
they just remake
add-on
Black
stuff,
Ops.
like
I'm in.
the original Black Ops and stuff with the freaking like DLC with the presidents and stuff like that, and George
Yeah,
Romero, all that stuff. That stuff, those zombie horde mode things like that with
yeah.
those modes were the reason why I
Like
kept coming back to
JFK killing
playing Black
zombies.
Ops. After,
Yeah.
yeah, even after I went through and like played a good amount of Zork inside that game's menu, and even though I like went through that campaign, I really liked the aspect of that
Yeah.
campaign. But yeah, when I look at this current Call of Duty thing that's coming out, it's like I'm not really hearing too much buzz about it. I mean, they just went through and announced and stuff, but hardly anybody's actually even talking about
Yeah.
it.
I mean, well, I'm sure we'll hear more as like we get closer. And they said there's a beta in October. I think it's October 5th. I think is when they said it starts.
Okay.
So I'm sure we'll hear more then. But yeah, I don't know. I want to see it because, but I think I finally hit that wall. I was somebody that just played the campaigns. I bought Modern Warfare 2 earlier this year, and I played it like a couple hours. And I was just like, I love the big explosions and stuff like that. I'm a sucker for that. Like, I just want that Michael Bay, you know, big explosions. I just want to not take the story seriously and just blow some shit up. And it just didn't click for me like it used to. So, no, I think I'm just kind of over these type of games. But anyways, moving on here though, we had Nightingale finally get a release date, or sorry, early access date. I believe it's February 22nd. Was that date? We've seen this a few times before. It's like um, it's a fantasy survival game. So I don't know.
Right.
Looks. I think it's gonna come out. It's gonna have an audience at first, but I'm not too. I don't think there's gonna be. It's gonna be a game that comes out and we're gonna forget about it. Next up here we got Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Um, Very anime game. Definitely not for me. That is coming out February 1st, 2024. I've heard about Grand Blue for like feels like decades now, and I still have no fucking clue what it is. So it's just one of those things I think I'll just never know. So does Grand Blue do anything for you, Gables?
Well, let's see. The RPG aspect of it does seem kind of intriguing and stuff. I mean, Grand Blue Fantasy Verse is just Grand Blue in general. did begin life as a fighting game series and stuff, but that's also based upon some sort of like animated show, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
gross
But
weebs.
yeah, there's supposed to be the RPG portion of it that's supposed to be coming out relatively soon in the next
Yep,
year or
February 1st.
so. But oh yeah, a lot of the animation stuff, a lot of the things that I saw from that initial trailer did look pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Immortals of Aveum, got a trailer for that. It was like it came out the same day opening night live, so kind of like Assassin's Creed Mirage. Hey, it's out, so check it out. Next up here we had Zenless Zone Zero. You play as like a wolf man, and I don't know, kind of gave me like Persona looking vibes. It's an
Uh,
ARPG. People from the people from that did like the Genshin Impact games and Honkai Star Rail as well, I believe.
yeah,
Um,
the Honkai.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know, look kind of cool. I like the style of it. It's just definitely I don't think it's gonna be a game I ever actually play. But I definitely like looking at it. So there's that. I don't know, Gables. You like weeb shit? Tell me about this shit.
To be perfectly honest with you, I was so kind of bored by what I saw and stuff, I just decided to
Hmm.
skip it.
Well, there you go. If the weeb guy doesn't like it, then I'm fucked because I thought it looked kind of cool. And they were gonna play it. But I thought it looked kind of cool. Um, Speaking of Honkai Star Rail, am I saying am I close at all? Uh,
Honkai,
Honkai.
yeah.
Okay. I feel like I'm just putting too much emphasis on the K, and I don't like it. Is getting a technical test on the PS5 soon. We got another trailer for that one. So yeah, so it's kind of they are like you can sign up for like to be a part of the technical test now, but no idea when it's actually coming. So there's that. There is a Genshin Impact concert series starting next year. They're doing a tour. The bunch of different towns here. They got like Boston, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, London, stuff like that. A lot of other towns like South Korea and Japan as well. But yeah, there's that game is fucking huge. Brings in like $1 billion a year. So smart to do
Yep.
that. So um, next up, Lords of the Fallen got a new story trailer. No gameplay or anything like that, but it's probably one of the closest like games to like not that's not obviously nothing's on the level of like Souls like what From Software does, but probably one of the first Lords of the Fallen game. Um, Gibbs, you know what the name of the first Lords of the Fallen game is? Lords of the
No.
Fallen. You know what the sequel of Lords of the Fallen is? Lords of the Fallen. You're right. Yeah, we are getting we're getting that. It's coming October 13th. We sure need the date for it, but we got a story trailer for that one, which I don't know. It's just it was a story trailer. There was no gameplay. It's a trailer with like dudes fighting. I don't think anybody cares about the story in these games, so I don't know. It's whatever. Um, Gables, it's the year of our Lord 2023, and Sonic Superstars is about to get destroyed by Mario again because it's coming out October 17th. Why do they do this? Why?
I have no clue why you would put a Sonic game against a Mario game throughout that same timeline. I mean,
3 days apart.
3 days apart. I understand that this game does look fun for what it is and stuff like that, but the pacing of where they're putting it at, it's not going to be acknowledged. It's not going to be entirely successful because there's a fucking Mario game a couple days between the release of that Sonic game. And I'll tell you what, man. I mean, I like Sonic games to a certain extent, but yet Super Mario Wonder does look like the better option in this case.
Yeah. Um, I'm not a Sonic guy at all. I'm pretty open about that. Um, but like this date leaked back at Summer Game Fest, and I was like, okay, well they're obviously. Then we had the direct. I'm like, okay, obviously they're gonna like at least delay it to like November or something.
Yeah,
Get away from it, like, because like we were talking before the show, Gables. It's like it's rough right now because like we have like all these like AA games and like indie games coming out, and they're barely getting reviews or barely getting talked about, barely acknowledged, and it's like problem is like you have Immortals of Aveum coming out last week. You had Bomb Rush Cyberpunk come out last week, but
yes,
then also Armored Core came out. It's like, well, what the fuck's everybody gonna talk about? These
armor.
games come out, but like when they come out, the reviews drop for Armored Core. So everybody cares more about the reviews and that game coming out. And same thing's gonna happen here. Like Forza and Assassin's Creed just came out, a week before this. Then literally the day this comes out, you're probably gonna have reviews for Spider-Man and Mario Wonder probably the same day around the same time. So those games gonna get covered up. I mean, I know it's bigger than just our world. It's like for the actual like larger audience. They're just gonna go to the store and they're gonna see a Sonic game on the shelf. Oh, cool, and buy it. And that's probably this game's gonna sell. I'm sure fairly well. But fuck, man, it's like if you go to the store on Friday, do your grocery shopping, you're at Walmart or Target or whatever, and you see a new Mario game or you see a new Sonic game. Most people are gonna buy the Mario game.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah, I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem that hard, Gables. Like, we're not business people, but I'm like, man, if I'm in that boardroom, I'm like, why are we doing this again? Um, anyways, Sonic Frontiers getting a new story update. I think it's the last one. You get a new playable character. Kind of spoils the end of the game if people care about it. I won't spoil it for people um, that do care. It's called The Final Horizon, and it comes out September 28th. So if you're interested in that one, it's out then. Um, Next up here, the first Descendant. It's a third-person looter shooter. The game looks gorgeous. I believe it's a South Korea team that's making it. It is a very much looks like a Destiny-esque style, like looter shooter. Looks gorgeous. I love like kind of the gameplay style. Like you have like a almost like a hook shot, like the kind of platform around on. So it's a little more fast paced. Shooting obviously, it's a looter shooter. Looks great. Beautiful. But someone said they should have called it a booty shooty, and I agree, Gables, because everybody in this game's got to ask for fucking days, and um, honestly, I think they're on to something because exactly what it is. But I, don't know, I thought it looked kind of cool, but I don't know. Like it's not something I'm probably ever gonna play, but I thought it looked like it could be a cool little game. I don't know. Did you see that one, Gables?
Okay, which game was this again?
First Ascendant.
Yeah, dude, I didn't see anything in regards to it.
All right. Under the Waves coming out. Fuck, this is coming out on 29th as well. God damn it.
Oh,
I want to play this game. It's being published by Quantic Dreams. This is the one that's like you're underwater, like you're exploring underwater, and some weird shit goes down, and it's like a mystery, and it looks like a cool little game that I want to play, and it's yeah, probably not gonna play it now because it comes out August 29th, and I got too much other shit that's out now that I want to play, and shit coming soon that I want to play. So, but yeah, but the game looks like a Tyler game, unfortunately. Fort Solace, we got a little thing. Troy Baker, Roger Clark, and Julia Brown came out on stage, talk about this game. The game was actually out on Tuesday as well. And kind of the most funny thing about this was like people like saying like shocked the game was out, and then also why there were no reviews out, or like why were there no review codes given out, and then
yeah.
people look at reviews, and it's like it's a 63 on Open Critic, so that's probably why there's no reviews. But there was someone trying to make a joke about Troy Baker's butthole that just bombed, and it was a very awkward series of events. And it's better off for nobody to see that ever again. Or let's not talk about it anymore because I don't want to spend more time talking about Troy Baker's butthole than I ever thought I wanted to. So, moving on here though, Mud Runner, a new one of those is coming out next year. So if you are like people like Snow Runner and Mud Runners, there it is. It's coming. Excited for you people. I know there's a big audience behind them, so I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm excited for you guys because I heard this. People love those games. Next up here though, Crew Motorfest is coming out September 15th or 14th, I believe. And there is actually going to be like an open you can play the game for like 4 days, I believe. I don't know how you can play the game, but like you can basically play the full game, almost like kind of like EA Play, where you get like 10 hours of the game or whatever for free. I'm assuming that's what it is. But the games are like supposed to be very good. It's like Ubisoft's version of Forza, and Forza Horizon rather. And everybody I've heard play the game like say positive things about it, but it comes out in September, so it's mid-September. It's like right after Starfield and right before Mortal Kombat and stuff. So, but and then it's smart to get out like a month before Forza, I guess. But I don't know. The game looks really good. It's in Hawaii. I kind of like that setting. Looks cool. I don't know. I might check it out with that free trial thing they're talking about. But yeah. Next up here, though, we got Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. We got some gameplay on that one. They kind of really pushed Cyberpunk as going like 2.0 update for the. This is only for current gen and PC players though. Kind of like redoing the whole like upgrading system and stuff like that, and the gameplay, like making a lot of changes to the gameplay. But we didn't really get a lot of updates, like a lot of gameplay on like what's actually the DLC is going to be. The 2.0 stuff, I believe, is free. Um, yeah, it's free, but so you don't have to buy the expansion to get that. But I don't know. This comes September 26th. Um, any chance, Gables, you're going to jump into Cyberpunk based off this though?
To be perfectly honest with you, I've actually kind of had some interest in wanting to return to the game because at this point, it's like they've already worked out a lot of patches and worked out a lot of things to the extent to where this DLC may actually convince me to want to play through the entirety of it.
Yeah. I'm sure they're probably banking on it too. As a lot of people, that 2.0, it's a smart way to get a lot of people back and kind of reorganize the game. So I'm excited to see what people say because I went back to it about a year and a half ago. They did the next gen update and played like 6-7 hours and kind of fell off. So yeah. Let's move
Yeah,
on though. Here's some other stuff here. There's a lot of like commercial stuff here. We're gonna skip through. Um, we got Mortal Kombat 1. We got some more gameplay for that one. A lot of brutalities. Just continues to look amazing. It's another one of the things where it's like, I don't need to see anymore. They've been showing a lot of trailers, like really pushing this game hard, and like, kind of showing like a lot. And it's like I don't need to see anymore. Like this game looks amazing. It just sounds awful because like the sound effects they make
yes.
are like cringing. But yeah, I think the story so far looks pretty cool. I don't need a great story out of this one. I'm not asking for like a God of War Ragnarok level story here, or like Last of Us or Naughty Dog or anything like that. But I just need
But
like a
something fast.
I just need like a fun storyline and like like the Mortal Kombat 11 storyline was I thought just they really jumped the shark there, and I'm glad like the requel they're doing here looks really cool. And like now you're kind of like Liu Kang and Raiden swapping places and stuff like that. Bring back all the original characters and kind of get rid of like all the new characters they introduced that just no, they're not really that good, or kind of whatever. So I'm excited to play this game. It's gonna be definitely be a day one buy for me. What about you, Gibbles?
To be perfectly honest with you, man, I mean, oh gosh, I think I'd be. As much as I love playing fighting games and stuff, and this does look pretty damn good and stuff, I'm probably gonna be still playing Starfield at that point. So I'm probably not gonna pick it up on day one, but I'll probably just wait for a sale for this thing to go on.
Yeah, that's smart, smart, smart. Um, and then kind of start end it off here. We got a Alan Wake 2 trailer. We got some more gameplay of this game. Um, I don't want. I just kind of want to be on a media blackout for this game. I'm already sold. I bought this game. Basically, the second one up for pre-order. I bought it. I'm super pumped for this game. Really, the less I see of it, the better, because I want to just kind of go as blind as possible. But yeah, pumped for this game. Got delayed to October 27th. Totally fine. And yeah, I'll be there day one. Anything for you, Gables, on that one?
I would be more excited about it if I had played through the original Alan Wake.
You piece of
But
shit.
everything I've seen of Alan Wake 2, it seems fairly interesting.
Well, we did just get the Alan Wake is the free game on PS Plus. So
Yes, that's very true. I could download and play that.
yep, the remaster was. So yeah, that's a great game. But let's move on, Gables. Some other news here. Um, Gotta do a time code here. Sorry. We have some updates with Bioware here, so not good news. Kind of sad here. We got 50 people were laid off this week, which is about equates to about 50, about 20% of their staff. Um, and what they said here was this is a direct quote here. They did this to shift towards becoming a more agile and more focused studio. Um, Basically means we're going to do same amount of work with less people. So kind of what we're getting on this one. And Jeff Grubb had some more details about kind of what's going on there. He's pretty much like been the man with like the leaks and updates on EA. Like he kind of broke the news about the Mass Effect remasters we had a couple years ago. He announced like the Dead Space game long before it was revealed. Same thing with the Black Panther and Iron Man games as well. So he's kind of been on the money with EA. And some of the stuff he talked about was that that's happening here is that Dragon Age Dreadwolf, like game that we've talked about. It's been they announced this and showed this game years ago,
Hmm.
and they kind of kept like reshowing it. EA plays and it'll like come up at like Summer Game Fest, not Summer Game Fest, but like Game Awards, and like they keep talking about it, but there wouldn't be any gameplay or like there'd be like early tech stuff here, like not even like fully like image stuff. Um, Years
Right.
ago now at this point, and the game like is was they're hoping to have this game out internally, and they never announced for September of this year. So next week, basically. No, it's basically next month. Internally, that's what they're hoping for. Then they delayed it to March of next year. And then internally, they delayed it again to summer. And it's likely that it could get delayed to early 2025. And then this
Mm.
is before all these people were laid off. And in this time frame, before people got laid off, they had like a smaller team working on the pre-production of Mass Effect, and they've been pulling people off of that to help finish Dragon Age.
Man, what the hell is going on with this crew inside BioWare? I mean, holy shit. That's not good.
No,
Absolutely, it's not good at all. And also, it tells a lot of us that well, that quality of the new Dragon Age game must not be all that fantastic if they have to go through and require more help in order to try to get this game at least in a comparable state before it eventually does a release.
well,
You
we
know,
do know there was issues because like it was more EA issues where EA
yeah,
was making them use their engine. I can't remember what it's called, Frostbite engine, uh, which
Frostbite engine.
which we know they had a lot of issues with. That was like a big part of the problems with like Mass Effect Andromeda. It wasn't That's probably actually the main problem was the engine. Just the game wasn't done yet. They forced them to put it out the door. Same thing with Anthem. Same thing where they kind of forced them to put the game out when it wasn't done yet. But honestly, I can't blame them because probably I don't think Anthem was ever gonna be good, and it's probably just get that game out instead of keep working on it. Uh, but yeah, we've seen all the issues with Mass Effect Andromeda stuff like that. But like with Dragon Age Dreadwolf, like they were forcing him to use Frostbite, and then they let him switch to Unreal Engine. So they kind of like basically restart the game at that point. But then they also were making them make another live action game or live service game rather. Um, and then they eventually EA let them basically just dropped all their things they were requiring them to do, and are basically just finally letting Bioware be Bioware and make a Bioware game. Um,
Mm,
so that's been like a lot of like this game's been in development forever, but this is like part of the reason why it's been developed for so long is it wasted probably multiple years at least just basically being forced to make a game like a Dragon Age game the EA way, and then
right.
in probably a lot of ways they kind of like restart it and completely reorganize and redo the entire game probably multiple times because of that. So that's big part of it here. I am nervous, like, but I've been talking about this for pretty much the entirety of links of this podcast since we started doing this podcast over a decade ago. Where we were just going on Mass Effect 3 that same year, and it was like um, I thought the game was great except for like the ending was pretty. I was never like, oh, it's awful, but I was just like, oh, okay. It was just kind of lukewarm, slightly disappointed on it. Um, like Dragon Age 2, that was like one of the first games that under EA came out. That game was just completely rush job. It could have been so much more, and it was very disappointing. Like the gameplay the game was fun to play, but it was a game like you just literally just reused a bunch of assets over and over again. Every dungeon was exactly the same. Mickey kept going the same places over and over again. You look at Dragon Age Inquisition, which is weird because it's like it is probably one of the most polarizing big video games I can remember like playing, where it got Game of the Year from a lot of people, including the Game
Mm,
Awards. And like a lot of people gave that game tens and nines, and there's like a lot of people that just didn't like the game at all. And I'm like some of that like I remember like being on this podcast years ago and like it's like I put like 30 something hours into it. I was like, man, I just don't like it that much. I put 30 something hours into it. Part of me has like been kind of like lately been like want to give it a shot again. But yeah, then we had Mass Effect Andromeda. It's been well known the issues there. Anthem, we all know about that. Um,
yep.
it's like they have not put out like Dragon Age Inquisition it did really well and it reviewed well, it sold well, but since then, you look at basically the last 5 games they put out. Mass Effect 3, a lot of issues. They had like totally changed the ending because people were so disappointing for a lot of people. Dragon Age 2, um, Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem, you know, all coming out. I guess last 4, and they've all been, they've had issues of some sort. So hopefully this turn around because I'm scared here of like the future of Bioware. Like, what happens
Yeah.
here if this does not do well? It's kind of like the same way we looked at like with the Battlefield, where like that. Where's that studio at now? Like, what's the future of that studio? What's the future of Battlefield? Because they have high expectations for that thing, and we've seen what happens. But I don't know. Like Bioware was in that weird situation when EA was like buying like all these like great studios people loved, buying them up, totally making them change their ways, and like make their games the EA way. Then the games would go to shit because of that, and then they would close the studios down. So, and we know EA is trying to change that. And like Bioware was like right at the end of that era, and hopefully, I mean, it's just kind of, but it's like still stuck in that like era of like, um, I don't know, like hopefully they can turn around because
No, here's hoping.
yeah, I don't know, it's concerning, but let's move on and give hear some other news this week. Um, Charles Martinet has retired as the voice of Mario. There's been some like people like kind of like internet sleuthing, like when that Mario Wonder trailer came out and the WarioWare Move It, is that the game
Yes.
coming out? Like they said that they sounded different, Wario and Mario, um, and it didn't sound that different. Like I barely noticed change if I noticed anything at all. But a lot of people noticed it, and apparently he's not the voice actor in those games. Nintendo said in a statement that you'll find out the who did them when the games come out in the credits, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Huh.
But yeah, he officially retired. He's 67. He will be like the Mario ambassador, so he's gonna be doing like sounds like he's gonna do like PAXs and Comic Con and stuff like that going around, kind of like what he's already been doing.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so happy for him. I hope this was like something he actually wanted. I'm not trying to
Oh,
like
absolutely.
come like drudge up controversy here, but I hope it's what he wanted. And yeah, hey, good for him. What about you, Gables?
Well, honestly, I'm kind of sad to see him go forward and retire, but at the same time, he's recorded so many lines and so much other like game audio and stuff for like literally like a hell of a ton of Mario games over the past 20 years. It's like, yeah, you know what? He does deserve to be retired to just go forth and retire and just write off of the royalties and stuff of being like the Mario voice actor, the ambassador and stuff. But yeah, it kind of caught me by surprise. But at the same time, I was kind of wondering when he was going to go forth and like hang it up and stuff because I know there were a few people that he was literally gonna thought that he was literally gonna play that role and stuff until he passed.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm more happy for him to actually enjoy some retired life. Just do what you feel like you want to do.
yeah. So it seems like it's not like really retirement because he's gonna be doing a lot of traveling. It sounds like so. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm excited to see if like they're sticking with a person like, or if they're gonna like just do different people. But we'll have to wait and see. Um, Next up here, though, Xbox Series X's are getting console wraps. Kind of interesting looking. Looks kind of weird, but like once you actually like sounds weird. Like it's like these weird, like it just like literally wraps around your console. And it sounds kind of like I don't want that on my console. But once you kind of see it, like the way they show it, and there's been a couple like they've shown like videos and pictures you can look of it, of them putting on. It's like comes out in October. I think mid October for those Starfield one you can buy for $50. It's kind of like their answer to like the sides that you can get for your PS5, the plates.
Oh yeah, the shells.
Yeah. And the Starfield one is $50. It comes out in mid October. If you there are two camo ones coming out the same day as Call of Duty, so actually pretty really smart to do that. And they're $45. But I don't know, I think it looks kind of cool. Like I've talked about like before with the PS5 plates and like they kind of end up doing with the Spider-Man ones, but it's like I just want I instead of making just like this is their answer to like instead of like making people like hey you have to buy another console to get like that edition of like instead of getting the Starfield edition or the Halo edition like I kind of hope they do one for Gears because I would definitely buy a Gears one, but I look at the Starfield one looks pretty cool. But I don't know, it's kind of a smart idea to do this kind of stuff and kind of bringing back those Xbox 360 faceplates all over again. What was old is new again. Gibbs, you think you might actually end up buying? You bought the PS5 ones. See yourself buying one of these?
Yes, dude. I do kind of like the idea of the whole console wrap stuff. I mean, it makes a hell of a lot of sense and stuff for the Series X because you don't really have too many options in terms of like switching things off of the device itself because you have, with the PS5, the sliding of the face plates and like the side plates and everything, and try to readjust or mix and match. But I like the idea that these console wraps, they're affordable, like individual themes and stuff. I don't like the camo ones because both of them don't look as good to me as opposed to the Starfield one. The Starfield is so subtle, but at the same time, it looks like it is a good pickup. So I may end up doing just that
Mm,
because I am so interested in not just decorating, but like accessorizing that Series X that I have and stuff. But yeah, I always love doing like customization stuff.
yeah. Um, I don't know if I buy the Starfield one, but yeah, like I would be down for like I said, a Gears one or something like that. Like I love I can't wait to see what else they do with them. So to wait and see. Next up here, the Persona 3 Reload out February 2nd. These come with the Game Pass as well, day one. Gales, how hyped out
And
of 10? How hyped are you for this one?
I'm actually at a 8.5 out of this stuff because I'm kind of excited to go forth and try it on Game Pass because it's a complete remaster. I don't
It's a
have to really
remake.
pay too much money. I mean, a remake, yeah. Yeah, I'm actually just excited just to play it on Game Pass and see how this game compares to the original.
Yeah, yeah. So exciting news for that one. Stalker 2 was officially delayed to 2024. That was one that like a storefront put it out like December 1st as a date. So people were like, so obviously that created some buzz and movies coming out. That was the date. Ended up not being the case, but I talk about like their Ukraine-based studio. They've like their studio was uh had issues, like they had no power for months on end. People were working in different studios that are owned by the same publisher, um, all over Europe. So definitely one of those things where if anybody needs to take more time in their game, it's them. So next up here though, Jusant got a release date October 31st. That is the Don't Nod game, the climbing game that's coming to Game Pass as well, day one. That game looks awesome, looks gorgeous. I'm a Don't Nod fanboy, so take that for what you will. But yeah, I've got a date for that one. Replaced was also officially delayed. That was another to next year. That is a also another Ukraine-based studio. Um, so that's coming out next year now. It's also another day one. Oh, that's 4 games in a row that were um,
Damn.
day one Game Pass games. Didn't even realize that I did that. Next up here though, speaking of Xbox, um, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to make it to Xbox this year now. After all, they have issues like because it's coming to December 6th to PS5. But big reason why is because they have split screen co-op. Um, excuse me, and on the Series S, they're having issues with split screen co-op working. Um, so that's why it wasn't coming to till next year on Xbox. Phil Spencer and the head of Lorien, I believe is the name of the studio that makes Baldur's Gate 3, had a meeting during Gamescom and worked it out that um, it will be coming to Xbox this year, not on September 6th, but sometime this year. And the Baldur's Gate 3 will have co-op on the Series X, but not on split screen co-op rather on the Series X, but not on Series S. So it did reach compromise. I feel like this is one of those things that's not a big deal. Like it sucks that like it's not a trend I want them to start doing per se. With they always push parity, but I think there was like a thing came out like a couple of years ago where it's like 3% of Xbox users use like split screen co-op. So this is going
Mhm.
to affect percent of a percent, and it's probably going to be a smaller percent of people that even buy this game on Xbox. So I feel like it's not gonna affect many people. I mean, like it sucks for people that I was a Series owner and a Series S owner until I just got the X last week. So I get people that that are looking forward to that option, but I don't know. I think it's smart for Xbox. It's just like this is one of the biggest games of the year. It's the highest reviewed game of all time. Um, we need to get this fucking game on our goddamn console as soon as possible. So I don't know. What about you, Gibbles?
Yeah, yeah. You know what? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, Tyler. Could you repeat the name of the game
Baldur's Gate
again?
3.
Let's get through. Thank you.
Yep.
For God's sake, you gotta bear with me, folks. It's like Oh man, I'm just trying to just drifting in and out right at the moment in time. It's just that type of like tiredness and stuff where it just affects you a little bit. But the Baldur's Gate 3 and stuff, that whole like co-op like controversy stuff, with split screen and stuff, and like doing it with based upon the console stuff. Yeah, it sucks though that they're doing options now. They're just limiting like the Series X, the Series S version, and the Series X and stuff, only having certain features on the more expensive console and stuff. I mean, that sucks in and of itself, especially if it could technically do it on the other device itself. But yeah, you're right when you said that it's only going to affect maybe like a small percentage of people that were going to do that anyway. A lot of the times they're going to go and have online parties anyway
Yeah,
in regards to playing with different people and all that other stuff. But even so, it's they're either going to be people who are going to be picking up Baldur's Gate 3 are already probably playing it on Steam or maybe playing it on the PS5. So even if it was an issue for people like say on the Xbox systems and stuff, more than likely it's not going to be as emphasized as compared to like say them playing on other different systems and stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, I do understand that why that could be an inconvenience to some, but at the same time though, I really think it's just not too big of a deal
yeah,
for this case scenario.
yeah. I get it. It's an easy headline to create some outrage for if you're somebody out there, but yeah, I feel like it's for the greater cause to overall do this. But it's definitely, like I said, it's not a trend I want to see start, and then they'll
Right.
start making compromises all over the place. And I don't think they will, but I get why they did this one. But next up here, though, Sega and Atlas are doing a broadcast for Tokyo Game Show on
Oh,
September 21st at 3 a.m. Pacific time. So,
oh
what?
God,
It's in
no.
Tokyo, so you gotta keep that in mind. Um, so
3 a.m. in the morning.
yeah, I don't know. They do have a lot to show off. There's that Hyena game. They have Sonic Superstars that we talked about. Um, they have two Persona games they've talked about already coming out. They got the Persona 5 Tactica in November. They have
Yes.
Persona 3 Reload. There's the Persona team that they're what's that other game they announced at Xbox? It's in June that they're making. It's the next game that's not Persona.
Mm, oh my lord. I know what you're talking about. I've forgotten the name of the damn game already because it's not really in the front forward of my mind right now. But I
Metaphor
do understand what.
Refentenzio.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I don't remember it because the name is not as memorable.
No.
But yeah, they're gonna show more gameplay of that.
Yeah.
I'm down. Seems like a pretty looking game and stuff. It definitely is more kind of a theme of like a Shin Megami Tensei sort of game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yep. So they have a lot to show off there. I'm sure that's probably gonna be probably what's gonna be announced. But yeah, it's the first like big domino to fall there for Tokyo Game Show. So hopefully there's more. Next up here, Days Gone movie is officially in production. It's very early production, but that's happening. So we've seen PlayStation's put everything else. There's a Horizon TV show still to come, a God of War show still to come. They said the Gran Turismo movie come out this week or last week. So basically anything and everything is out there. That we just talked about those rumors of the Jack and Dexter animated movie coming. So
right.
um, not shocked that that's happening. Then last but not least here, Activision and Blizzard and Microsoft came to a deal for the CMA in the UK to put basically give the licensing rights to Ubisoft for the streaming for the cloud gaming of their games. So that's kind
Hmm.
of their workaround for them. So like the games will still be available on like Game Pass stuff like that. You can still play them on on everything. The only different like it's not going to affect the customers at all. The only thing it's going to change is it's going to be on Ubisoft Plus as well. So yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel like this is like it's kind of a funny headline, but I don't think it's going to be whatever. It's just them coming to agreement. Find a way to come into agreement with the CMA. We haven't heard. They haven't said for sure if like it's a yes or a no, but I feel like at this point, like CMA blocked it because of cloud gaming concerns, and I don't know. I feel like if there truly was cloud gaming concerns, I don't know, like what. This seems like a pretty good argument here. Like, hey, this is like, look at hey, we put it on Ubisoft. They own the rights to it for the next 15 years. We're paying them to give us those games in our services now. So yeah, I don't know anything on that one, Gables.
Nah, not too much, I'm afraid.
Okay. Well, Gables, let's move on to what we've been playing. Gables, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first this time, stuff, because I've only played like one game, pretty much. I've been playing more of the Pokemon trading card game. Been really getting into like the deck building mechanics stuff of it. I went through and decided to build another deck because I wanted to try to finish up the last bit of like the leaders and stuff before earning those legendary cards and stuff. So what I ended up doing was I worked on the electric and fighting style deck. I have mostly Electabuzz, and I have the Geodude like through Golem line and stuff as my main focus. So like three Geodudes, like two Graveler, one Golem, and the whole aspect of it is to try to be super fast by adding cards that will do a lot of draw power. So say like the card Bill, I got like four copies of, right? And it just draws two cards. Have like a computer search and stuff like that, where you just discard like one various card to pick out any card in the deck. I basically shaped it more or less like my first deck. The only difference being is I've made it much more quick by adding like the search for energy cards, or like the search for a specific monster sort of card, or search for specific things, like say for trainer cards and stuff by discarding two cards. It's basically the whole aspect of being sort of the Yu-Gi-Oh equivalent of a mill deck, which what a mill deck is you find ways to make sure you draw out almost the entirety of your deck in order to get the cards that you want so you can finish the game like against your opponent as quickly as possible. It isn't like a first turn kill. It's not like a second turn or like a one turn kill or anything else like that. But there have been matches I've played with my water deck in specifics to where I've literally beaten like their Pokemon and like their bench Pokemon and stuff like that. And it's only didn't even last more like maybe a few minutes, where I've had literally like 5 or 10 minute matches against the NPCs and stuff in this game, to where we're going back and forth. They have about four or five bench Pokemon or something. I can't get past this one Pokemon because I'm not drawing the cards I need exactly at that time. So I'm quickly having to just rely upon top decking, like say, for example, I don't know, like top decking a Squirtle so I can get a base Pokemon on my bench so I can go through and evolve it into either a Wartortle or use a trainer card to evolve into Blastoise in certain aspects. But my progress my progress is pretty good. I'm now like around 10 hours into it. I've already cleared most of the bases and stuff. So I got the badges for like fire, for like the science team one, for like poison. I've done like the fighting one, the rock one. I've won the electric one, the water one. I basically have all the other ones already done except for like grass. Yeah, it's grass at this point. But if I'm not able to go forth and deal with my electric like fighting deck or something like that, I'm actually thinking of just do a straight up like fire deck and stuff just to take care of the grass stuff, because that would actually be pretty freaking awesome just to go forth and just have a Charizard style deck and just go and just finish off the rest of the game with it. But other than that, man, I mean, gaming things aside, I haven't been really playing too much because of the whole manager aspect of my workplace. But other than that, though, I'm glad I did decide to go through and play Pokemon Trading Card game. I feel like I'm getting closer towards the end game of this game, but at the same time, I'm just feeling fairly good about it. But other than that, that's all I've been
All right,
playing.
very cool. Well, I've only been playing one game this week as well. I talked about already.
Yes.
I did pick up a copy of Immortals of Aveum. I'm gonna play it too much. I just got it, Thursday, and obviously, like talk about being sick. I just have not been really in the gaming mood this weekend. So I did play. End up getting a chance. I played for like maybe like an hour yesterday. I played for I don't know, probably about 2.5 hours today. Kind of finally sat down. I'm like, I need to play this game. I just fucking bought it, and also I need to try to get much into this as much as I can before Starfield comes out. Um, but yeah, so I'm about yeah probably like 3 hours or so into it, give or take, and 3.5, 4 hours. I don't know, somewhere around there. And I'm on chapter 5 so far, and it's pretty good. It's fine. Like I think it's gonna be exactly what I thought it would be. It's a 7-ish out of 10. It's exactly what reviews are. I think it's like a 74 on OpenCritic, and that seems about right. It's exactly what it is. I found a deal on it. I got it for like $35, and that was the only reason I bought it. And yeah, I'm having a good time with it. It is like people don't know it's like in this world where like a lot of people have magic. I don't know if everybody has magic. They throw so much lore and story at you. I don't know what the fuck's going on, honestly. Um, but you play as a kid named Jack, and like you like kind of like live in like basically like, there's like underground like towns, and but shit goes down. Your village gets attacked, um, and like you end up joining like this army, and like you're fighting in this army against the other guys, but you're like you find out you're actually like the chosen one or like a special person like that, a rare breed of
Oh yeah.
people that that there's like different types of magic that people can attain. There's
Okay.
like 3 different kinds. Basically, there's green, blue, and red is basically what they are, and they have different abilities. And but you're like a type that can also that can like have all three, and kind of you can like so it's almost kind of like a more like linear based like Ghostwire Tokyo, like where those like you had different type of magic abilities, but like one was really like a pistol, one was more like a machine gun, one's more like a shotgun. It's kind of the same idea here, where like red is more like you can actually change up. There's like different like kind of like um, loadouts, I guess, for lack of a better term. You can like change out like how much like what kinds of like what they are. Um, and they also have like you can upgrade them, you can craft them. There's different like arm bracers you can wear, shit like that. There's different abilities you can add on to them, or you can upgrade your stats, stuff like that. Um, but like the blue was more kind of like more like a pistol type of situation where you gotta keep hitting it. The green one is like a machine gun. You can just hold it down and it shoots, and also like it doesn't do as much damage, but like it also like automatically like it will just hit people as long as you like shoot somewhere close to them. It will like kind of like lock onto them and hit them. And then you have the red, which is more like the shotgun. And then you have different abilities for them. Like one like when the like one of the abilities I unlocked is like it does like you do like a kind of like almost like a ground slam. Like all these like rocks come out of the ground, and because there's like a big trail in front of you, and that's good for like break. Some enemies have shields, and you can like break their shields really easily with that. I have another one that's like that like makes like almost like a lava come out of the ground kind of thing. And so certain enemies like certain things like the shield can only be take damage like can only be destroyed by like blue abilities, stuff like that. But story is like whatever. Like I wasn't expecting like I'm not asking for like a world class story here. I just need something entertaining enough to get me through the moments of the shooting. And I'm enjoying. The story's whatever. Like I said, I don't really understand what the fuck's going on for the most part. I get the gist of it, but like they really do throw like a lot of lore at you at the beginning, and they just talk to you like they're talking to your character like you know the world because obviously like they grew up in the world, but like they don't do a good job. I feel like of explaining to you the person playing this game. Like I've just jumped in this game 30 minutes ago, and I have no fucking clue what's going on. Can someone please explain to me what's happening? And like they just have conversations like I just jumped in like on chapter 8 of this game, and it's like no, this is chapter. I'm like, wait, no, this is chapter 1, right? And like, yeah, I know it is. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Um, so it's a lot of that. I have no idea what's going on, but it's like whatever. I don't need to understand exactly. Like I know, like there's a war going on between two factions. The bad guy's trying to like do something bad. I'm a good guy. Basically, like I'm the chosen one. I need to. I'm gotta be the guy that stops this kind of stuff. And it is what it is. It's that class story, but like it's fine.
Right.
I like the game is gorgeous. It is definitely. I thought about like I've been kind of suckered into like some of these like beautiful looking games that do like they just like do really cool particle effects like Ghostwire Tokyo. Like I thought visually that game was beautiful. And the game was good. It was like I talk about it is the most mediocre game I've ever played in my entire life. And I don't mean that in like a super insulting way. Like the game is actually pretty good. It's a fun time. Like I put a solid like 15 hours into it. Uh, but and this is kind of more of that. Like, but it's more like it's like one of the guys, one of the director on this game was like a former lead for Call of Duty. Call of Duty. I don't know why I called Duty over there. Call of Duty. For a long time, and like he has a lot of former like Telltale people helping work on this game, so that kind of made me excited. But I don't really know where um, these must be the people they hired like the last like 2 weeks of the studio before it closed. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. The game's fine. I do like kind of like the best parts of this game was like when you're actually in the missions, and like it's kind of like you're going down the hallway. It's the Call of Duty thing where it's like I like the enemies you're fighting. I'm having fun with the combat. The parts I don't like is the in between stuff so much because like you're kind of in areas like where like it's kind of got like the Metroidvania style where like there's like a thing here that you can't do yet. Um, so okay, we cut back here. I get new abilities, stuff like that, and like it does a pretty decent job of telling you. It's like your character be like, oh, I can't. This must be something I can't do right now. I always appreciate when games do that. But that way I'm not spending 15, 20 minutes trying to figure out what the fuck to do, and I just can't do it. But like there's a lot of stuff like you're just wandering around these like not open world, but like open environments, and there's like chests you can find. There's like that have like gold in it, or have like you can get like green, red, and blue. I can't remember what they're called. But, like you basically get like essence is what they're called. You got green, red, blue, and that's what you use to like upgrade your abilities. And then you have gold that you can use to buy things to get better equipment or stuff like that. And there's like little puzzles you can solve throughout the environments as well. You can find more upgrades. There's like little challenge things you can do that, like upgrade your mana and
Right.
your health, stuff like that. It's a generic fucking shooter game, like, but it's really nice to look at. I'm playing on
So
my
it sounds like
bottom.
it's all 6 or something.
I was when you were gone. I said it's a 74 open critic, and that's so far like 4 hours in, give or take. Uh, that's probably like where I'm thinking this game will end up as. Like totally
Nice.
fine. Like not a good game, not a bad game. Like I would say like I don't know how long this game is. I hope it's not like 15 fucking hours. Like if it's like 10, that sounds perfect to me. Um, but yeah, like I don't know if you find this game down the line for like $30, $20. It's probably so far like I'm gonna keep playing. Probably talk about more next week. Um, yeah, I'd say give it a shot. Like if you're this looks like something you might like. It'll probably be on EA Play in like 4 months actually. So if you have Game Pass or just EA Play for a month, play it on there. Because like this is like this looks like this seems like it's gonna be a fun like weekend game. Like or like I have a couple days off. I want to play some games. This is that. So turn your brain off. Just have a good time, pass the time type of game. So yeah, so far so good though. Like I said, I'm only a few hours in. I'm gonna keep playing it, but I'm liking it so far. So, but I think Gables that'll do it for us this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, wherever you are, wherever you're watching us at, listening to us at. Please, like I said at the top of the show, like, follow, subscribe. Look in the description down below. You can click on all the links of our Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, whatever service you're on for podcasts. Just search for us on there. Drunk Nerds, you'll find us. Like I said, even if you and like if you're just someone that just you have YouTube and you can just please hit the subscribe button. I don't even care if you like click the little bell where you turn off notifications of us being on there. Just subscribe and then just turn us off. To see us again. That's fine. I don't care. Just do it. Just give us the numbers. We're trying to get to 1,000 here, so we can make $12 a year doing podcasts on YouTube. Um, but thank you guys so much for watching, listening. I was Tyler.
I've been Colonel Gables. So until next time, everyone, play games that you like, enjoy life as it is, and Tyler, follow the buzzards.
Terry Funk forever.
Yes.
Bye guys.
See ya.